Guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the PS2 Collector, episode 49. We're nearly on 50 now, and our current count at the moment is 328 out of 4,376 games. And guys, you know the drill, because I picked up yet another 5 games for me to share. Stay tuned, because as always, you do not want to miss this. Right guys, let's start off with the first game of this video, game number 329, and that is Sir Alex Ferguson Player Manager 2001. If you watch football, in my opinion, as well as many others, especially Man United fans, Sir Alex Ferguson is the greatest manager in the history of the game. That's my personal opinion. 49 trophies, are you going to argue that? I'll leave it up to you. I know people are going to say there's the Peps, there's Jose Mourinho's, there's Ottmar Hitzfeld, Jurgen Klopp's, Arsene Wenger, but Alex Ferguson for me dominated English football for 25 years, a dynasty. Even though his run was 30 years and the early years were difficult, he dominated the 25 years of the Premier League. No one can say otherwise. So on to the game based on the greatest manager of all time. What does this game have to offer when it comes to the manager insight, when it comes to manager games? I've got to say, this game has loads of detail. It shows how you can balance your transfer funds. It also shows how to schedule your training sessions. There's about 10,000 players in this game, 850 teams, and it just shows how hard it is to run a football club, especially if you're a manager. So the realism, the statistics, the dynamic depth to it is very daunting, because some players, if you're new to the game, you might get frustrated because it's not instant fun. You have to build your club from the ground up, and it does take time, and you have to have football knowledge. If you know your football, especially in 2001, look at the players that were there. Ridiculous, possibly the greatest generation of players in the history of the game. I'm gonna say it right now, top of my head: Ronaldo, Henry, Ronaldinho, Kaká, Zidane, flipping Luis Figo, Beckham, etc, etc, etc. It was a phenomenal era when it came to footy. So if you do enjoy manager games like Football Manager, this game is definitely for you, because this game gives that game a run for its money, dare I say. And guys, that's game number 329, Sir Alex Ferguson's Player Manager 2001. So on to the next game, game number 330. When it comes to bare-boned games, you don't get bare-boned games than this, and that is Scrabble Interactive for the PS2. So as you know, if you have played Scrabble, it is a board game, and the rules are you must create words, and each word you create, you get a point for each word. For example, let's use that. If you spell that, you get 4 points, and so on and so forth. For me, this is the kind of game that you give to your children to improve their literacy skills, or their English, or to help them, increase their vocabulary. It's a very good game in that sense. But when it comes to video games, why would you play this? Like, I'm not cussing the education system here. If I want to play a game, I'm not going to play a game spelling words. But the beauty of the PS2 is it covers all genres, and this game did stand out for a certain audience. So guys, if you think you know a lot of words and you want to make that a point, get this game, because this game definitely will prove your point. And that is game number 330, Scrabble Interactive. Right guys, so on to the next game, game number 331, and it's a football game that is definitely a blast from the past, and that is International Superstar Soccer for the PS2. So this game is a spiritual successor to the Pro Evo series because Konami created both of them, and trust me, these games by Konami are absolutely timeless. It was a brilliant era, and in the UK, where FIFA rules supreme, for me, I was always a Konami kid, and I'll always be on the side of Pro Evo. And these games ensured what a football game was meant to be: fun, action-packed, and always, let's just say, controversial with the scripts. But this game right here was the first game in the Pro Evo or ISS series to fully show licensed teams. There's international teams, there's certain modes. It's absolutely fun, and I think this might be the last game before it transitioned into the Pro Evo series. And guys, if you've not played this game before, give it a go because it still runs well to this day. What a game and what a franchise the ISS series was on both the PS1 and the PS2. An absolute iconic game, and that is game number 331, International Superstar Soccer for the PS2. Guys, so on to the next game, game number 332, and it's an arcade truck racing game developed by Sega, and that is the King of Route 66. So I've never played this game before, but I'm a huge fan of arcade racing. Burnout 3, greatest arcade racing game of all time, hands down. But this one is a truck racing game, so I thought, you know what, let's give it a quick play. So I put it in, and I thought, you know what, graphically the game looks amazing. But one thing that lets it down, and I picked it out straight away, the story mode is quite, short. It's repetitive, it's very shallow, there's no variety, there's no replayability in this game. But the game's difficulty for me has to be questioned, because even on easy mode, this game is very hard. Like, I'm talking about Dark Souls hard, especially the last level. Bloody hell. Now, if you do enjoy truck racing or arcade racing in general, this game is definitely for you. For me, it's not a bad game, but it just offered two less. That's all it was. It offered two less and a lack of replayability. And guys, if you've not heard of this game before, give it a go. You will be surprised how good this game is, despite its, short length and dramatic difficulty, dare I say. And guys, that's game number 332, the King of Route 66. Alright guys, so on to the final game of this video, game number 333. Now I've got to say, this game for me was a huge disappointment, and that is Phantasy Star Universe. Now with Phantasy Star, it is and still is one of the most iconic RPGs in history. For me, I've not played this series that often. The first time I played this series was on the Dreamcast, and that game was fun, and that game introduced me to online gaming. So when this game came out, I think, in my personal opinion, now if you are gonna hit on this, just be warned, you are gonna hit on this. This game nearly ruined the Phantasy Star franchise, and I can't believe the developers took loads of shortcuts because the graphics are outdated. This is the PS2, Xbox 360 era, and you're showing graphics from the early 2000s. Not good enough. And online was just repetitive dungeon battles with the same enemies over and over and over again. It just drove me insane. It's like, what did they do to it? It's such an iconic franchise, and oh god, it's just a letdown. It's like, I just get frustrated when I talk about this game. It could have been, it should have been a great game. There is a bit of fun, but it just gets boring over time. It's not as great as the Dreamcast game and the early 90s games, but Phantasy Star Universe for me was an end of an era, and Phantasy Star slowly is recovering, but it's not what it used to be, and the downfall began here, unfortunately. And guys, If you are a fan of Phantasy Star, you know what this game's about. I'm not gonna recommend it, but if you've not played it, and if you do enjoy RPGs, give Phantasy Star Universe a go because it's quite decent fun and it does have a bit of dungeons for you to discover and upgrade your characters. But online servers have gone down, I think, unless you go on Xbox. I think their server's still online. But again, for the PS2, it's not for me. It is not for me, and that's game number 333, Phantasy Star. And guys, that's the final game of this video. 333 games down now, and on next week is gonna be the 50th episode of the PS2 Collector. And guys, you do not want to miss that, trust me. And if you're not subscribed to the channel before, please do, as it helps out the channel a lot. If you're a fan of the PS2, what are you doing? Subscribe and get to see games that you guys never saw. And guys, until next time.